Hi, my name is Brian Schwager, founder of the Wellness Movement Center. Here I am working with this young fitness instructor. He came to me last November 2019, and after committing to the journey, which I call the journey of self-actualization, he embarked on all aspects. We started with the comprehensive consultation where I rated his wellness and movement lifestyle subjectively. Then we qualified him for a more comprehensive physical assessment. And with my team, we started our work and we brought that chronic pain out. We have a few lingering things to clean up, but between November and the end of March, we worked on the entire first phase and he just graduated to the second phase. Let's pick up where I left off and showing him how to use the foam roller. You can do toe out, you can do toe straight, you can do toe in. That's all corrective rolling for myofascial release. This is corrective movement and mobility exercises using the active isolated stretching methods by Aaron Mattis. Well, I found these to be actually very beneficial prior to, working out as opposed to static stretching. Okay, so the sequence is activate the core, dorsiflex, use the quad and the psoas to raise the leg on your own. So much like the other stretch for the hip, I give instructions to activate certain muscles and keep other muscles relaxed in order to achieve the full potential of the exercise. I have that towel roll to prevent his back from moving so that he can isolate his hamstrings. In this exercise, this is a very mindful exercise taken from Feldenkrais to increase the mobility of his upper back. Now, as far as his stability is concerned, I have a whole series of corrective, isolated, and neuromuscular exercises that I teach my clients. Remember, everything is customized for the individual. In this isolated exercise, he's in a pretty precarious position. I have him maintaining specific postural alignment, cueing on certain muscles, and then activating his inner core. And then as we move to integrated, listen here as I explain. Core. Okay, hip extension without moving your back, right? Good job. These are down. So once this is in position, as you extend, it's not like you're moving around back here.
All right.
You got it. I refer to that as hip low back disassociation, and that's why the client is using that small ball on his lower back. Whether the leg was straight or bent, he has to be able to extend without moving his back. The exercises get progressively harder. We get them away from the floor, start teaching their core how to work in different positions because it does work different in different positions. Here in this symmetrical kneeling exercise for his shoulder stability, he has to be able to pull that across without losing core control. Here, we're now learning the bend pattern, right? Still that hip low back disassociation as I teach him how to move from his hips and not from his lower back. Quite a progression from being on all fours. Then we add what we call reactive neuromuscular training. I have that tubing anchored around one of his shoulders and he has to bend without rotating. It wants to rotate him in the direction of the tubing. And each week the exercises got progressively harder. Here he's doing that exercise he was doing kneeling. Now he's doing it in a split stance. So the chronic pain he came to me with originally is gone. The couple of instabilities that were evaluated by one of the practitioners on my team are now more stable, and he's ready to transition into the athletic movement screen. That's the last phase before somebody wants to get back into fitness. Here I'm checking for hip mobility and core function. Now with these tests that you're going to see in the next couple of clips, these are all part of the functional movement screen. I integrated this into my athletic movement screen because of the scientific data that shows that these 7 tests and the ratings for them help to really set a baseline for movement competency before moving a client into their fitness program. The other thing that's important is you'll see I'm testing with his right foot back doing this stationary lunge or single leg squat, and then I test it with his left leg back. Same with this hurdle step. This is a stepping pattern, just like the lunging pattern. These are all 7 basic patterns that we use in everyday life. But is there a significant difference between one side and the other? If there is, the score will show that. And if there isn't, the score won't. Here's a core strengthening test. And here is dynamic stability. Now going back to the scoring, I score the functional movement screen with a 1, 2, or 3. A 1 is they're unable to do it 2 is there's a little bit of an asymmetry, but 3 it's done perfectly. Now I use the same scoring standard even with the dynamic tests, and I don't have all of them videotaped because this was his was quite involved, but I rated them all. His scores were very good. The functional movement screen, a perfect score is a 21. He got a 20. And for the other parts of the screen, his rating was high enough that he could start moving into more advanced training. This test tests the client's tilting response because the ball moves underneath their feet. I'm also looking for good core control. Is his back moving around? Is he losing postural position? Or, like I described at the beginning, does he have good hip-low back disassociation? This client did remarkable, and now he transitions into phase 2. If you want to learn more, here's the contact information. Remember, you have to feel and move well before moving more. Have a great day. Bye for now.